Have you ever stopped and wondered, like, what would it really take for AI to think, to learn in a way that feels, well, human?
Yeah, something beyond just crunching data or following strict rules.
Exactly. We're not just talking about better algorithms here. And
Yeah.
today, we're going to dive deep into something called BabyAGI.
Right. It's this really fascinating project that sits, well, it's kind of on the edge, isn't it? Between the AI we use every day, the narrow stuff, and that big goal of artificial general intelligence, or AGI.
And what really grabs you, I think, is its whole approach to autonomy. It's different.
It really is. And for our deep dive today, we're leaning heavily on this great guide, BabyAGI Complete Guide, what it is and how it works. It was updated pretty recently, May 19th, 2025.
So that's our main source material.
Yep. And our mission, really, is to get past the buzzwords.
Mhm.
We want to properly unpack BabyAGI's design, what makes it tick, how it actually works.
Why it matters, and maybe where you could even use it.
Exactly. The goal is that by the end of this, you'll have a solid grasp of this tech, and pretty quickly, too.
Okay, so what are the main things we should be listening out for? What are the key takeaways from the guide?
Well, first off, the guide really positions BabyAGI as a serious step towards AI with something like human-like intelligence. It's not just another tool.
Okay.
It talks about this complex framework. It uses mixing, how it handles tasks, its memory, and how it learns, aiming for pretty broad use.
And it has real applications.
Oh yeah, a wide range. We'll get into those.
Yeah.
Plus, it highlights how it compares to other autonomous agents like AutoGPT.
Ah, good comparison point.
And interestingly, there's actually community support around it too, which kind of tells you something about its momentum.
Right, it's not just a theoretical thing in a lab. Okay, so to really get it, we need to start at the beginning. What is BabyAGI, fundamentally?
The source calls it a peek into AGI. That's the phrasing. It's designed specifically to try and think and learn more like a human does.
And it uses that analogy, the baby learning to navigate the world, one.
Exactly. Which sounds maybe a bit simplistic at first for, advanced AI. But the power is supposed to be in that sort of foundational step-by-step learning process. It's about handling a whole range of tasks, adapting as it goes, learning from new info.
So it's not just like a chat bot or an image generator, it's aiming higher.
Much higher.
Hmm?
It's presented as a step towards machines that can genuinely understand and interact with the world in an intelligent way.
So if you're out there curious about where AI is headed, or you just like keeping up with the cutting edge stuff,
Then BabyAGI is definitely something you should be paying attention to.
okay, that sets the stage for its ambition. But the clever part, the real mechanism, how does it do that? How does it actually work to mimic human thought?
Right. The how. The guide explains its operational model mimics human thinking by combining a few key things: task management, memory recall, and this idea of continuous learning.
So it juggles tasks, remembers stuff, and keeps getting better.
Pretty much. It's designed to handle a really broad spectrum of activities, trying to get closer to, well, actual cognitive abilities.
Mhm.
And what's really insightful is how it evolves.
It evolves. How so?
It's constantly taking in new information, learning from whatever it just did, and then using that knowledge to adapt, to get better at the next task, tackle new challenges. It's described as this continuous dynamic cycle.
So it's not just learning in a vacuum. There's a purpose, right? The source mentioned an overarching goal.
Yes, absolutely. A major goal guides the whole process. BabyAGI then autonomously creates its own tasks to steer its learning towards achieving that objective.
Okay, that's interesting. It makes its own to-do list based on the big picture.
Precisely. And that's where the memory feature becomes so critical.
Ah, the memory. You mentioned a vector database.
Right. Think about learning anything complex yourself. You need to remember what worked, what didn't, right?
Of course.
BabyAGI tackles that with its memory system. As it uses this memory and gets more experience, it adapts more smoothly, it can handle tougher tasks more easily, it gets better over time.
And this ties into the bigger idea of autonomous agents.
Exactly. These are systems designed to operate independently, making decisions, solving problems, without a human holding their hand every step of the way. BabyAGI is seen as a step towards that kind of autonomy.
Okay, so speaking of autonomy, it makes you wonder how it stacks up against other names people might know, like AutoGPT. What's the real difference there?
That's a really common question. The guide points out a few key distinctions for BabyAGI. First, it can apparently switch between tasks more easily, without needing every single one set up in detail beforehand.
More fluid, then.
Yeah, and it learns by doing, so it genuinely improves over time through experience. And it operates with, let's say, a higher degree of self-sufficiency. It makes decisions based on what it's learned.
So if we had to boil it down, the source suggests BabyAGI is really focused on that human-like learning path.
Right. Whereas AutoGPT might be seen as more focused on automation, getting complex tasks done using existing powerful models.
So BabyAGI learning, AutoGPT doing complex stuff automatically, roughly.
That's a decent shorthand, yeah. BabyAGI is noted for dynamic learning, problem solving, kind of like we do. AutoGPT excels at automating workflows, using things like GPT-4.
So which one you'd use really depends on what you're trying to achieve.
Exactly. Different tools for potentially different jobs, or at least different philosophies.
Okay, this is fascinating. To really get under the hood, though, we need to talk architecture. What are the actual components inside BabyAGI, the building blocks?
Right, the bits and pieces that make the autonomy and adaptability happen. The guide breaks it down into core functionalities and then specific components.
Functionalities first.
Yeah, 4 main abilities. Task execution, actually doing the tasks. Task creation, coming up with new tasks. Task prioritization, figuring out what order to do them in. And memory access, using past experiences.
Got it. Execute, create, prioritize. Remember, ECPR. Maybe not catchy.
Probably not. But those are the core jobs. And to do those jobs, it relies on 6 key components.
Okay, component number 1.
The large language model, the LLM. This is the brain, the reasoning engine, as the guide calls it.
Like ChatGPT's engine, but doing more.
Kind of. It takes the big objective, breaks it into smaller steps, makes a plan, figures out which steps depend on others.
And even suggests new tasks based on results. It sounds like the project manager.
That's a great analogy. It's strategizing. Then component 2 is the vector database. Think Pinecone, ACE-IS, Chroma, those kinds of tools.
And this is the memory part you mentioned.
Exactly. It's the long-term memory. It stores records of tasks and outcomes, but not just as text. It stores them as embeddings.
Embeddings, those numerical representations of meaning.
Precisely. It captures the semantic meaning, allowing the system to see relationships between different pieces of information. It uses semantic search to find relevant past experiences, not just keyword matching.
So it can recall ideas related to the current task, not just identical tasks.
That's the key. Very powerful for learning. Third is the task list, often just a queue or a priority list.
The central nervous system, the guide said. The workflow manager.
Yep, that's the one. It holds all the tasks. Its dynamic tasks get done, new ones get added, maybe some get removed if they become redundant, keeps everything organized.
Okay. Component 4.
The execution agent. This is the doer. It takes a task from the list and actually performs it. It uses the LLM's power, pulls relevant info from the vector database memory, uses context, and then it generates the result. And importantly, that result gets stored back into the memory.
Closing the loop. Okay, 5.
Task creation agent. This one's job is to generate new tasks based on what just happened and, crucially, the main goal.
So it keeps things moving towards the objective and avoids, like, going off on tangents.
That's the idea. Avoid duplication, stay focused on the goal.
And finally, number 6.
The prioritization agent. Once new tasks are created, this agent looks at the whole list again and reorders it.
Using the LLM.
Yep, using the LLM to figure out the best order based on that main objective. It keeps the whole process efficient and goal-directed.
Wow, okay. That's quite an intricate system. LLM, vector DB, task list, execution, creation, prioritization agents, all working together.
It's a complex dance for sure.
So with all that machinery, what can you actually do with it? How does this translate into practical uses? You mentioned applications.
Right. This is where it gets tangible for people. Think about automated content creation. The guide gives an example. Maybe your objective is create a social media campaign for a new shampoo.
Okay.
BabyAGI can potentially break that down, research the market, write draft posts, maybe even suggest edits, all working towards that campaign goal.
Autonomously.
That's the promise. Or research automation.
Yeah.
Goal. Summarize the latest trends in AI regulations.
So it would go out, find articles, pull out key points, write a summary.
Exactly. Can manage that whole workflow. Another one is customer support workflows. Imagine needing to update your company's FAQ.
Always a pain.
Right. You could give BabyAGI the goal. Generate and update 20 FAQ entries for our SaaS product. It could potentially scan support tickets, find common questions, and draft clear, updated answers.
That could save a lot of time.
Absolutely. And the guide also mentions financial task automation, things like tracking expenses, generated reports automatically, or even monitoring financial news for relevant investment insights.
So it's not just one type of task. It seems quite versatile because of that goal-driven learning approach.
That's the core idea. Its potential impact on AI development is pretty significant.
How so? What's the bigger picture impact?
Well, the source frames it as a milestone. It's sparking innovation. Its adaptability could lead to much more personalized AI experiences down the line.
Because it learns and changes based on interactions.
Potentially,
Yeah.
yes. And its learning capabilities are pushing the boundaries, setting new benchmarks for AI performance. The overall potential to genuinely transform industries is there.
It's moving beyond just task-specific tools towards something more general purpose, maybe.
That's the hope, the AGI part of BabyAGI.
Now, I know some listeners might be thinking, okay, this sounds cool. Can I try it? You mentioned installation briefly. Is it accessible?
Reasonably so, for someone with some technical background. The guide gives a high-level overview. You generally need Python installed, version 3.8 or higher usually.
Standard stuff for developers.
Yep. And Git for cloning the project from its repository, usually GitHub. Then a package manager like Poetry or pip to install all the necessary libraries.
Okay.
The slightly tricky bit might be setting up the .env file. That's where you put your API keys.
Ah, like your OpenAI key to access the LLM.
Exactly. That's crucial because BabyAGI needs that connection to the powerful language model for its reasoning, and maybe keys for the vector database if you're using a hosted one.
And once that's set up.
Usually it's just a matter of running the main Python script.
Yeah.
But the crucial advice is always check the project's official readme file.
Right, because open source projects change fast. Instructions can get outdated.
Precisely. The readme is always the ground truth.
Okay, good practical tip. Before we wrap up, let's just quickly circle back and nail down those key concepts one last time. Maybe address some FAQs the source implies.
Good idea. So first, what's the main use of BabyAGI?
Right. It's about simulating that human-like thinking and learning, isn't it? To build systems that can adapt and learn on their own over time.
Exactly. Developing autonomous adaptive systems.
Yeah.
Then the difference between AutoGPT and BabyAGI.
Okay, AutoGPT, more focused on task automation, content generation, using existing models really well.
Right. And BabyAGI.
BabyAGI, more focused on developing that underlying AGI capability, the human-like learning and adaptation itself.
Perfect. And finally, just simply, what is BabyAGI?
It's that AI initiative, that project aiming to create machines that learn and think like humans, trying to bridge that gap between the narrow AI we have now and true, adaptable, human-level intelligence.
You got it. It's a significant effort in that direction.
So as we finish up this deep dive, it really does feel like BabyAGI, or at least the ideas behind it, represent a concrete step. It's not just science fiction anymore. We're seeing movement towards genuinely intelligent, autonomous AI agents.
Yeah, it's less about just programming what AI can do now and more about enabling it to learn what it could do tomorrow with, purpose.
So here's something to chew on as you go about your day. A final thought. If something like BabyAGI genuinely learns and adapts, well, like an infant, growing, improving, making independent decisions. What does that really mean for how we even define intelligence in machines? And maybe more practically, how are our own interactions with AI going to change as these systems evolve in the next few years?
That's the big question, isn't it? How do we live and work alongside intelligence that learns and grows in ways we're only beginning to understand? It's definitely something worth pondering.